Welcome to Tanium Converge 2024. More coverage here of the fascinating people that you get to meet. Now, a lot of people think of Tanium as like banks and retail, but we actually have some other things we don't normally talk about because we're not supposed to. But these guys can, and so I wanted you to meet them because they got some fascinating stories. So first off, it's a secret name. I don't know. I'm not sure what to call them, but I want you to hear it from their lips.
So we're actually executive client advisors.
Well, that sounds kind of corporate.
It is very corporate. It was formed because there were 406 retired colonels from the military, from various branches of the military, that when we came to Tanium realized that we do bring a strategic view to what Tanium's doing, especially on the federal side. So an executive client advisor, the focus is building customer value by bridging technology solutions with relationships. And so we really find ourselves executive level engagement level with U.S. federal government sector.
Fantastic. So why don't you each introduce yourselves for our audience here?
Sure, I'm Kyle DeWar. I've been with Tanium 5 years, and I cover primarily the federal civilian space.
Sam Kinch, 30 years military, 10 years Army, 20 years Air Force, and I came that spiel like rolls off my tongue. But I came into Tanium 3 years ago and started in the TAM organization, but then moved over to the executive client advisor role in the last few months with these gentlemen.
Ed Debish, very similar to Sam Kinch. 27 years in the Marine Corps, joined Tanium 3 years ago, and I was brought in as a customer engagement director initially until they switched us over to the TAM org, and now I'm an executive client advisor.
And from what I understand, there's one more member of your team. Who would that be?
There is. Andy Gale would be our fourth member, and Andy is a retired Air Force colonel.
Fantastic. So with that kind of horsepower, number one, I'm not going to challenge any of you guys to push-ups. I would lose. I would fail miserably. But I know you guys are doing technical push-ups now at an executive level, it sounds like. So tell us a little bit about what that engagement looks like.
Yeah, so we'll start with customers, and we'll identify business objectives that align with their strategy. We'll take that strategy, we'll build account goals, we'll contextualize the customer to the Tanium team to ensure that we're aligning our account activities to meet the needs of our customers.
Okay.
You want to talk about the blogs?
Yeah, sure. So another thing that we actually do is a little bit of thought leadership. And the way that we go about that now is through our blogs. And you can find our blogs, the links to them on LinkedIn, or you can go to the Tanium site directly and you'll find them. Just recently I did a blog on the fog of war and how uncertainty in warfare is equally important when you think about cybersecurity and the uncertainty that's in that environment, and how Tanium can help you reduce that fog of war in cybersecurity.
So what's the scope of the engagements that you have, your customer scope, so to speak? Is this all Fed, military? Like, who do you talk? You do government agencies? Who do you talk with?
Yeah, great question. So I support the DoD and the intelligence community primarily. We have relationships with a lot of the executives, so we're able to have those conversations and then bring that information into the account teams to do the strategic planning that Kyle spoke of earlier.
Okay.
I want to add to that too, because what we found is like we spent tens of years in this military branches. A lot of those military professionals that we engaged with have now retired and moved on to other careers as well. A lot of them are moving on to the civilian sector, and what we find is we're being pulled into those commercial conversations on a leadership level and the executive level, because these guys and gals are now executives, they're CEOs, CISOs, etc. And we're doing the same thing we're doing in federal, but on the commercial and state and local for that matter.
That's a fantastic connection. It didn't even dawn on me, but you're right. I mean, so many people that I know, specifically in the cyber community, you see some of these guys you walk into a boardroom in a corporate environment and you're like, wait a minute, this guy, I can tell where he came from. He was minted somewhere and he's got some special skills, and now they excel in the corporate world as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what we're finding is that within the military, you have top-level schools which teach primarily critical thinking. And that critical thinking, that military decision process, has applications beyond just the federal sector. We can get down in the SLED sector, the commercial sector. We talk with folks about EMEA and opportunities in NATO. And so that process of thinking, critically thinking about complex and ambiguous problems really helps customers contextualize how Tanium can add value to their ecosystems.
Well, thanks for swinging by the booth today here at Converge. Anything else as we wrap up that you'd like to make sure that our audience takes away?
We've announced a lot this week. It's amazing capabilities coming to the platform, from AI-enabled capabilities to automation. We're excited, and we're looking forward to bringing this to our federal customers.
Absolutely.
Yep. So for you guys that are watching, you guys and gals watching this video, in the video description below, there's going to be some links. There's a link so you can find them on LinkedIn, and also a link to some of the blog content that they've been writing specific to this market that I think you'll find valuable. So thank you guys for stopping by, and until next time, go Tanium.
Ashley, thanks so much.